Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase I'm going to call it an onslaught of onslaughts. We're going to be looking at the 1986 Decepticon Combaticon leader, Onslaught. For this video what we're going to do, we're going to have a quick look at him in all of his different modes. We're going to have a look and discuss the variants that are available of him. I'm also lucky enough to have quite a few different types of packaging, so we'll have a look at that and the artwork that's on the backs of them. And as we're going through the figure I'll make you aware of things that you need to be aware of if you're after purchasing one yourself. Before we get started, I'd like to thank Chuck Liu from Art5 for the Japanese one on the top left, and Matthew Barrett for the Classics gold box on the bottom right hand side. So let's get started. Onslaught is the smaller robot here on the right hand side, and he is the leader of the Combaticons, and he makes up the torso of Bruticus. So yeah, him and 4 other Combaticons combined to form Bruticus, and as I say, 1986 these were released as part of what's known as the Scramble City line of combiners. He had a couple of different modes. What we're going to look at though before we get there is when he's in his robot mode, some people like to put the double cannon behind him. I keep it off him in robot mode, and the main reason for that is just to differentiate between him and Bruticus, because they've already got the same gun. So that's just my preference. People put it behind there, that's absolutely up to them. One thing to be aware of though in his robot mode is this chest panel does come off. So that's often quite a lot of the times missing or lost. Another thing, not that it makes any difference, is the chest itself can be metal or plastic depending on which version you get. But there he is in his robot mode. Nice robot mode, bit of articulation in the shoulders and in the legs, but not too much. As I say, the main gimmick for all these figures was the fact that they could combine to a much bigger one. We'll have a quick look at one of his alternate modes then, the modified flatbed truck. And this is a great alternate mode, to be fair. And along with the rest of the Combaticons, I think you'll all agree that, you know, they really do live up to their name. Combaticons, they do look like army military vehicles, and they do look like they're about to go into combat. So, something to be aware of, because of the way that the legs fold out to make the combiner, etc. Sometimes you can get chipped and damaged plastic around these joints, and also they can sometimes get quite loose, like this is as well. But nothing too serious to be aware of there. Before we have a quick look at his alternate mode, another one, I want to just make sure that you're aware that, again, because he's the Combaticon leader, you're going to need 2 feet, 2 fists, 2 chest pieces, so the large one and the small one, the double barrel gun, the big gun, and of course I say the 2 fists, so be aware of that. If you want to combine him up, or if you just want to display him as a robot, you don't need them pieces at all, obviously. Right then, onto this mode, and I've kept this separate for a reason. This is the normal mode that you'll see, the battle station mode. This you can attach to Triptychon and to Metroplex if you really wanted to. But this, and I've kept the gun there for a reason, this is just the standard one. And you normally see Swindle on the particular ramp there. But over here, what we're looking for is this actual launcher. This is the Takara version. So it was only released in Japan. And what it actually does is it launches there. So that's why I've not put the double gun on, just so you can see. We're going to put Swindle there. And of course you can then fire him down the ramp. This feature was only available in the Japanese Takara version, and unfortunately the Hasbro variants obviously didn't have it. Also, of course, you need the ramp to complete, not to complete the figure, but you need him if you want the figure complete. I forgot to mention that. But there we go, very cool figure. What we're going to do now then, we're going to have a quick look at some of the packaging, because there is a bit of a difference. So if I move these figures out of the way, I'll do 2 boxes at a time, so we're not spending too long. So what I'll do is I'll bring up the standard released. This, oh, I've turned it around too early. This is, of course, what we've got here, the standard Hasbro box right there. That was released in 1986. It mentions there that you need to collect all 5 Combaticons. Nice big picture of Onslaught in the middle. Spin it around, and then the battle scene you've got at the time was obviously the Metroplex versus Triptychon, and again noting that you need all the 5 Combaticons. For the Gig Italian box, similar artwork on the front. Difference obviously made by Gig, changed the name from Transformer to Transformer, and they also changed his name to Destroyer. With regards to the back, pretty much exactly the same, yeah, no difference there between the two. Right, let's look at the Takara box now. So this is a bit different, and again I really like this. So for a start, gone are the bubbles. You've got a nice polystyrene insert where all the figures fit and all his attachments, so it's much neater. And onto the box itself, again, nice and compact, looks really good. Also mentions there about the base, the battle station mode, which is nice, but then this is what I really love. If you turn it around at the back, that battle scene. not really seen on any of the Hasbro variants. I love that battle scene. So instead of them being in base mode, obviously robot and dinosaur mode for the two Titans there. Brilliant stuff. Okay, moving swiftly on to the European, Australian and New Zealand versions. So we've got the classic boxes. These were released 1990, 1991, and again only in the areas I've just said. Big difference, of course, this is the Spanish one. This is a mint and seal box, and they've changed his name to Onslaught. And then this is the standard English one, classic Onslaught. The weird thing about this is the colour scheme on him. It's borderline like sort of the G2 colours they used with the Stunticons and things like that. The colours are very, very out there, and so much so that when I spin this round, you'll see on the back that they've actually mixed the two colours around of Swindle and Brawl. And as I say, Onslaught looks completely, like I say, G2 colours, I would think. The battle scene on the back isn't that impressive, and that's basically because it's just advertising the figures that they re-released. So that's the figures, as I say, that they re-released under the gold box line, so the battle scene's not too amazing. Right, so anyway, hope you liked looking at him. He's a very interesting figure. He's got, as I say, the fact that he is Bruticus, and I think Bruticus is always going to be a fan favourite. Everybody loves Bruticus. He's been re-released under Fall of Cybertron, obviously the Combiner Wars, and I think he's going to constantly get re-released due to the popularity of the figure. But I hope you like looking at him. I hope it brought back some fond memories, and if you guys have got any figures you want me to showcase for you, please let me know and subscribe for more.